Hello everyone and welcome back to English 1510. This is the week 6 overview. Couple of changes this week. We had the remaining weekly overviews including this week's. No more live Zooms. So far in the term, as far as this has gone, there really have been nearly no takers on it. So I'm not going to schedule those as a regular thing for the last few weeks here. Individually, the students who are doing the work and everything else, you guys are keeping up to date. I have out of 25 students in a class, I have 22 to 23 each week completing everything on time as scheduled in the way that it's supposed to be completed. So there's no real issue there. A lot of times in the terms I've started to include these because it's hit or miss per class, but I'm going to stick with the pre-recorded on this. I'm going to wait usually until Monday to record them, so if there's anything that needs to be updated, I will include it in the recording as I did today. A little bit of an issue getting it loaded today before the 8 o'clock time on there. Usually I'll have them by Tuesday morning. I like to have them up by sometime Monday night if I can. 8 o'clock was my window today, so that this will probably be up slightly after 8 p.m. once it processes. But here, no more live Zoom sessions. I'll post the pre-recordings by Tuesday morning, and it'll cover everything for the week. That way, if I see anything on the submissions the night before that I need to address, I can put them in there. And then if students have individual commentary or whatever else, we go right as the way we have been. You comments with your submissions, or up here on the instant messaging envelope at the top of the page here. I've gotten some emails from students, mostly from students who are doing their work and keeping up to date, not from students who have fallen behind or submitted incorrect work. I've tried to make as comprehensive of feedback on all files and submissions and post in grades for missing things so far. I have a couple more things to put in over the next 2 days, including the rhetorical analysis summary and outline for everyone. Just note on this, if anything were to happen and I don't have your summary outline posted before tomorrow afternoon on these, I can extend this one more day, no problem, which I probably will do for this class to the 29th. In fact, let's just count on that. I'll extend this to the 29th because I think I have 3 more to go, and I'm going to be unavailable for the whole beginning portion of tomorrow, so I won't be able to add anything onto those. So I'll change this to the 29th, the rhetorical analysis rough drafts. But this week, I canceled the rhetorical analysis discussion boards. I was unable to finish the feedback on those ones in the summary outline, so it just put me behind on those, folks. There were a couple of fires to put out this past week and a half. So really going through these, I don't have time to go through and read and review all of those. I'm still considering on something for argumentation, but the majority of students are doing very well with their own individual work. So as of now, I've canceled that out. If I change anything on the announcement, I'll let you guys know. But here we have this beginning overlap between rhetorical analysis and argumentation. As I said at the beginning of the term, there will be assignments that begin overlapping. In the course schedule overview here, on the notes, once writing assignments are underway, submissions of some pre-writing outlining papers that will overlap final submissions of other writing, so be sure to note those assignment dates. So we're in the drafting stage and you're beginning argumentation. Now, on the argumentation, be very clear, guys, you have to have done all the readings in order for all these things to make sense. I have a couple of things to point out that in this week, you're on week 6. You have, in addition to readings that are assigned for the week for argumentation, right? Week 5, rhetorical analysis rough draft. I changed that to Tuesday. I will update that to Wednesday for both classes of my 1510s. So we'll have it on the Wednesday of the 29th. If I didn't already do so, I believe one of the classes I did because I had 3 students who I was dealing with over the last week of trying to get extenuating circumstances taken care of for them. But in any event, the readings that are included here, now in week 6, we have some additionals. We have week 6 readings. Your assignment schedule is to complete the argumentation summary and working thesis. Remember that the summary here, you're talking about the topic, still in third person. Everything for these is in third person. That ends in a working thesis. Remember, in a working thesis, you should at least suggest, if not outright state, what your support points would be. That is, those points that would become the topics of topic sentences and body paragraphs for support. So here you have 2 assignments, a summary and working thesis, and then preliminary points of support and works cited page. This is an initial 10 sources. Both of those due this weekend. They're fairly short assignments. If you pick a topic, if you pick climate change or social media or whatever it is you're going to argue about, remember that you're arguing one side or the other. You're giving a clear indication of what the topic is, what the reader needs to know about it, what you currently know about it, all in third person, and ending in a working thesis. If these 2 components here are done correctly, on a summary and working thesis, you should have no problem completing this portion. Preliminary points of support is essentially, it is your topic sentences for at least 3 body paragraphs, followed by the works cited page of your initial sources. Those must be peer-reviewed sources from the OCC databases. Hence, the videos assigned for this week. English 1510 Research and MLA Citation and Argumentation videos. Both of these, and then the first 2 MLA citations of the library seminar, and then how to find articles. Feel free to watch all the provided videos at any time, but these 2 are assigned for this week, MLA citations and then how to find articles to our databases. All right. Now, the rhetorical analysis final draft will be due on the 6th. I will have already given everybody summary and outline on the rhetorical analysis, not necessarily on drafting stage, but summary and analysis I will have feedback on. So if you're going through and you need sentence by sentence type of feedback for a final draft, if you complete this assignment correctly for week 5, if you completed this summary and outline correctly, and I didn't have to make big comments and corrections on those. For instance, remember that this is about rhetorical analysis. You're analyzing rhetorical devices used in a commercial, right? You could use YouTube or television. I warned everyone away from political pieces in this one. Just commercials that you saw on YouTube or television that you can find it, give me the name, the hyperlink to it, so that I can actually review the ad too and guide you on these. Rhetorical devices are things like imagery, music, voiceover narration, celebrity presenter, etc. They are not logos, ethos, and pathos. Rhetorical devices are imagery, sound, music, celebrity presenters, voiceover narration, captions. Rhetorical concepts are logos, ethos, and pathos, and those refer to the appeals that our devices make. Remember that distinction. Your thesis should be naming devices like imagery, sound, and celebrity presenters, or captions, or voiceover narration. Your explanation of the intended appeal can refer to things like logos, ethos, and pathos. Not the devices. They are not devices. Please remember this. The majority of students who have gotten marked down the most are those of you who seem to have completely ignored the instructions from that week, okay? Including the overview in both the Dropbox for this one and the one following. Now, rough draft on this, as I said, in this rough draft stage, typically on rough draft for this is credit-based, meaning that if you need sentence-by-sentence, line-by-line feedback on those, utilize the ASC tutoring. Available to you up here under Student Services. I only have 3 students. I have 4 students total between my 2 1510s that have utilized ASC tutoring at all. I gave recommendations to 14 or 15 students between the 2 classes to utilize that tutoring for your drafting stages because of sentence level problems in your diagnostic writing and now memoirs, okay? A couple of you I still have to post memoir feedback on those in total, but at the end of the day, you need to make sure that you understand the class is focused on the content and overall framing of these different types of writing assignments and the content we cover therein, not punctuation, grammar, mechanics. I am marking down for those things, but I'm not going line by line and giving you grammatical feedback on everything that component or individual things that you should have a good understanding of prior to a 1510 course. we have self-enrollment, and students have to understand that if they don't know those things, they need to take a remediation class, 1055, 1060, or 1510E. So, having said all that, the rhetorical analysis, no discussion boards. This week, I'm taking the Zooms off. I'm just keeping these as posted pre-records on Monday or by Tuesday morning. So, guys, make sure that you review for this week. You got those readings, and then also now we have videos that will be included this week and next. I will post up the readings for week 7 and 8. These are all going to be articles. Excuse me. These are all going to be different pieces that are focused on different portions of what we're doing with argumentation. The videos that are referred to are in your content folder down here. If you click on the research and MLA citation things, those videos are here. The first 2 are right here on this one. The MLA citations and getting to know the library. Find articles. These were the 2 that were first assigned. The next ones are these 2 here. You can watch them in any order that you need to. Syllabus and general course documents. Please note on here, there are overview slides of rhetorical analysis. The things on sentence variety for those of you who do need those things. There are also ones in here that cover a number of different slides for coming up on argumentation. The slides for those PowerPoints are included here. Make sure that you're reviewing those, guys, if you need those that type of additional resource while you're creating these assignments. So this week, rhetorical analysis, everyone understands the documentation and all the files that were included that are included here again. This has got to be a 750-word draft of this. That means without your heading and your title and all that stuff, 750 words of your writing and analysis. A general to specific intro. 3 body paragraphs, I think, is pretty much the staple for everyone. Each body paragraph focused on a different rhetorical device, and then the conclusion explaining whether or not it was effective and why. Remember, this is third person formal. This is not first or second. Our Purdue link is included here again, as it was in another Dropbox and in your instructional links, guys. Make sure that you're utilizing any resources you need. But anything that's in these assignments was also covered in your textbook reading. Now, for this week, the additions of the argumentation summary and working thesis, you are picking a topic for argumentation. I include an entire list of examples down here of acceptable topics. Download and fill out your template, the summary and working thesis here. What is the topic here? A full description of this in a few sentences, but if you need 4 or 5, then use them. Give your reader what exactly this topic is. Real-world example of it. When you're talking about what the topic is, make sure that if you're talking about something like climate change, the topic is anthropogenic climate change. It's the scientific explanation of what it actually is. Not citing anything, but your overview example. Real-world example of that topic. The current social relevance. Why should the reader care about this topic? Relevant details the student already knows in a few sentences, and then the working thesis. Remember, the working thesis should refer to subtopic points as well. Okay? Once this summary and working thesis is done, most students will have, if they complete it correctly, the majority of the content for their intro paragraph. Make sure you read through all of these instructions. Everything is included here for this assignment. Okay? Everything that's needed to understand there. And then the other portion of this, after you finish that one, the other thing that's due this week is the preliminary points of support. This is the template provided. You must download and fill this out. What are your 3 topic sentences that support your argument for your side of this argument for the topic? And then down here, you will take this title, move it on to a new page, and you will include your 10 peer-reviewed sources from OCC databases that you're going to be using for the initial stages of your assignment. So, these main things are here. Read through both of these. Make sure you understand what's required in these. I'm not going to read them word for word for you guys. This needs to be a point where students can take the initiative and cover these things on their own. Make sure that your wording is focused on the argument. Note that you must pick a side of one of those topics that you pick. I will read through the submissions on these this weekend, and I will, if there's anything I need to critique or I can't approve, I'll let you know there. But just remember, OCC database sources of peer-reviewed articles, and that's all. MLA formatted citations, you will lose credit for things that are not MLA formatted, and you will not receive any credit if their articles are not from peer-reviewed database sources. I'll see you guys.